Welcome to the Crow's Nest, a local music podcast set up in your spaceship to help build communications between musicians here on the local scene of Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Welcome to the Crow's Nest podcast. I am joined today by the illustrious ZEAL. Hey guys. Do you want to do like a little introduction so people know who you are? Is that cool?
Right to left, left to right?
Who does what? Right to left?
You are ZEAL.
Well, my name is Matt Holland, and I play music and stuff, and I'm a drummer, most notably for the infamous ZEAL.
Infamous? Oh, damn.
Infamous ZEAL.
Damn.
I'm Patrick James Hodgin, and I control the shifts of planets and tectonic plates in ZEAL.
You are ZEAL.
I'm Calvin, and I just do low-end things.
Joinery mainly.
That's cool. So, like you've said it at the start, so Patrick kind of is ZEAL, right? You guys, so you started that? Is that the way it worked? Like, I don't really know what the backstory is.
Yeah.
ZEAL. Like, how did it all start?
Well, it was funny. It was like, the name started in like 2013, so I was like 16, 17. And then, after a while, after like 2 or 3 years of writing all the bad songs, you know, like, it was like, I think it was 2015, and then there was like a bunch of sort of good songs that showed up. So I formed like, I had friends in Bangor, and we played a show, and then after that I joined the tech course and met these guys. Yeah. And it was funny actually the first time that we played, because we were supposed to, I think at this point it was like the first band had played like one show in like August 2015, and then I kept trying to book shows, and they were away in university and everything, and they just couldn't do it. So there was one time I booked a show, and I think I just sort of said to them, right, we've got a show booked, and they were like, oh, we can't do it. And these guys had never heard like the music before at all or anything. You know, I knew them from tech, just from playing
Jamming
in another band and jamming and stuff. Freshly
baked,
baked. We played in a tech band called Freshly Baked, and
that's great.
It was good.
We went to like Newcastle.
Yeah.
We went to a competition for like colleges in England.
What age were you? When have you done that?
I was 19.
I was about 18.
You were 19?
I was 19. I was
about 18.
Yeah.
It was like, it would have been around that age. And then, but eventually it was just like, I booked this gig, and, you know, nobody could do it. And I kind of was like, right, okay, those guys are good. You know, let's just do that. So we showed up at the OES Centre like the next day, and like 20 songs that they'd never even heard before, you know, didn't even know existed, and they did it, and it's been that way since. And yeah, it's great.
Awesome, I mean, you can't tell. Like, I mean, I think whenever I first seen you guys play, I came to talk to you afterwards because the band just seemed so tight or something. I don't know. I just assumed you guys have been playing for like years and years or something, but I think you were not even a year deep or something.
It was like 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Would have been, Would have been.
And I hadn't even played that many gigs at that stage. We did the one on the Goats too, and then
Hop House, and then there was another one in the Sunflower as well. We played in the Sunflower before that.
Before that, because I seen you guys at the Pavilion for something, right? I think
that was, if I can remember the date, that was like February 24th.
This guy's ridiculous. So good.
Yeah, I can already tell.
He's just February 24th, 2017, and it was Philip McCarroll put us on. Wow. I forgot. It was Philip McCarroll, and you were playing with Slick District.
When you were playing with Slick District.
That's the one.
Oh, you were playing with Slick District.
I was. Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Wow.
Because we played that show. I seen you guys because like, I'm not trying to be over complimentary or anything, but the minute I seen you, I was just like, I was really into this band. Like, I knew it, and I came in. I kept trying to tell you because I hate the meme though. I hate the meme of like going up to people afterwards like, sick set, bro. Good set, bro. Like, high five.
It's already begun.
That's the highlight already.
Andy does that to me every fucking day. Every day.
Calvin, we don't have conversations anymore. It's just said it.
We've started doing this.
It's truly immature.
I'm not a part of this, as you can tell.
Do you want to be?
A wee bit, yeah. But I don't want to ask. You guys are he's the bigger boys, you know.
Section, you know.
What was I gonna say? I'm lost now.
I
I
know,
can't even
my bad.
remember.
Something about being complimentary to ZEAL. And
Yes, okay, yeah, because you always go to people and you're like, 6'8", man, whatever.
Yeah.
But, no, just for real, I was sort of like, yeah, I gotta go see these guys again. So then, that's why I asked you where you're playing, and then I came seeing you at Hop House. And I was like, but it was like
March 19th.
Jesus.
Just to put it out there.
I like it.
Jesus.
Just as another wee sidetrack, give him a year and ask him who won the Formula 1 that year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The Formula One World Championship.
knows every winner.
I know every of them.
Just like any year.
Any from 1950 because that's when it started.
Whoa!
So
I
any
thought
year
from
Some
like,
weird
honestly,
autistic shit.
like what was the year you were
97.
born?
Who won it in
97.
97?
Jacques Villeneuve.
Oh, of course.
1992.
1992 was Nigel Mansell.
I was going to say Damon Hill. When did he win it?
96. 96. See, they're quick too. It's
I
not
believe you.
85. 85 was
I don't blame
Alain Prost. 85. That was his first one.
Great. Have you seen the document? Sorry, this is going to be sidetracked. Have you seen the documentary thing?
Senna?
Yeah,
Or
the Senna.
oh yeah, I've seen it. It's great. See, that's the thing though. I hate Senna. Like,
That's why he doesn't watch this, guys.
completely ostracized every Formula One fan who may or may not watch this. But
hilarious.
yeah, we'll not get into Formula One
No,
because that's you know,
that'll be when this is off.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe you. You're a strange fan.
Thank you.
That's
thank you.
amazing. But you know that. That's crazy. Yeah. No, I seen you guys in Hop House. So it was like it was a massive set. Like I didn't know they expect that. Like sort of, it was almost like a house band sort of thing. Whenever you guys played there.
Yeah.
We played like 20 songs, something like that. There.
Yeah, it was
It
ridiculous.
was really
like,
long.
It was
How long
really
it? 2
ridiculous.
hours,
We did that because that's what we did. It was so weird at the start because, like, I mean, in some ways it's been good though because like it's given us more of like a kind of like an understanding of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole music industry thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
especially in this country as well.
Uh-huh.
You know, we sort of like because the first gig I ever played was the one in the Goat's Toe with the old band,
Yeah.
and that
right.
was a 2-hour set.
Really?
and then
right. Jeez.
We played the next gig that we all played was a 2-hour set in the Goat's Toe, and then we played the Sunflower and we did a 2-hour set,
Just the 2 hour sets.
and then we it was
Yeah.
just
I was like, that's fucking.
It was
that's
just
good shit.
ridiculous.
I don't like
you
how
know?
did you guys get into that? Like, you know, was who approached you for the first show, or did you try and book it? Or
it was like a case of not knowing anybody and just calling into bars and being like, "Will you guys put us on?" You know.
really?
And
Right.
I knew my dad's a musician as well, so I knew the protocol in bars was just filling out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, that was just that summer, like from like May to like July, August 2015. I like was just sitting writing like so many songs, and I had a purple patch and was just like, right, just go with it so you can get your 2-hour set, and then it
Yeah.
was just. And then it was done, and then it was like, okay,
It's
I
not-
teach them to people. So.
Crazy, just like the volume of the gig time that you have then.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Crazy.
Yeah.
I just
2 hour
find that
set, 2 hour set,
Yeah.
2 hour
Yeah.
set, 2 hour set.
it's really interesting because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I've been playing in B button for like, God, when I think our first show was like in
Do you know the
2014
date?
or something.
Gotcha.
I know. That would be
Thank
really,
you.
really weird. It's like,
That would be scary.
I hope. Oh.
I think it was 2014. Like, but I've never been approached for like a set like that or any show we played. There's never been a band that do something
Yeah.
like that. It's like it's such a different thing. Like I feel like there's two different sides of that on the
Yeah.
music scene.
It was probably like completely unspoken as well. Like
Yeah.
it was just you got the Goat's Toe gig, and it just happened to be that there was no other bands on, and they just went right. Well, you have 2 hours.
Yeah, it
But
was.
the Sunflower was just like it was completely up to us because like you book the Sunflower yourself. No one
Yeah.
puts gigs
Mhm.
on the Sunflower really.
Right.
So I think
You booked that yourself, and that was like our second gig and the third ZEAL gig. So it was like, okay, 2 hour set again, But
Yeah.
it was so weird because, again, all that just came from just knowing that, like, I mean, because before that, I had no perception of like like places like the Pavilion or the Egg or anything like that just had those nights on. You know, I just thought go to all the bars that kind of, you know, young people hang out in and like, you know, try and play there.
It's funny because maybe that's something I should be doing. That's why I love doing this thing, because like I would have been the opposite, where at first whenever we didn't know where to go for shows or what to do for them, then it was there's a group of people that put on certain nights and it's like contact them and it's like you get a 30-minute slot, and that's just the way it worked. 4 bands on a night, 30 minutes each, and that's that. But I've never actually, you know, walked into a bar and been like, you know, do you need,
can we fill your night?
Yeah.
Although I don't know if we would get away with that, because that's, you guys seem like,
we didn't though. Like we didn't like we would play and then they'd be like, you know, where are the covers? You know.
Yeah, well that's
we had this.
You know,
that was the conversation we had on the last
one about covers, because that's I would expect, like, that's what I mean for like, you know, two sides of the coin on the music scene, is like I would have expected a 2-hour set to come from somebody who came in to play covers, like a cover band for the night. But whenever I seen you guys in Hop House, it was like a nice blend. Like you didn't play that many. I mean, you did play a few covers, but like there was so much original material in it.
We would have been playing Psycho Killer by that stage,
Yeah,
and we played Don't Let Me Down.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And we played we played something else.
We didn't do Love Buzz at that stage, did we?
No, we didn't do Love Buzz.
Did you guys do another Beatles cover? I feel like there's another one, but maybe I'm making that up. You'd know better than me. Like, but I felt like there was 2 Beatles
See,
covers.
at that stage, I wasn't even that big of a Beatles fan.
Really?
That's right, yeah.
That's the sacrilegious part.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right.
And we forced them into it.
Yeah.
So forced into it.
I just about knew Don't Let Me Down, so it probably wasn't.
That is a beautiful song. That's why I always loved it whenever you played it, because it's not even on any of the records, and it's like loads of people don't seem to know that song, and it's just amazing.
It's on, interestingly enough, right? In fact, I'm going to make a point about this because this is something I feel very strongly about.
Go for it.
The Let It Be album.
Yes.
The only copy I have of that album is Let It Be Naked.
Oh, Paul
The
put
one
it on the way he wanted it to be.
Yeah, the one that Paul did, and I've had that since like 2010. So my only concept of Let It Be was that with Don't Let Me Down, track 8 or whatever it is, you know. And I remember the first time I heard like Let It Be, and people would always talk about like Let It Be, like, oh, it's not great, you know, it's not a great album. I'd be like, what are you talking about? It's great. And then I heard the production on the real Let It Be, and it's just so bad. It's just like horns unnecessarily.
Yeah,
and,
that song especially is really
it's terrible.
Overdone.
Long and
Winding Road.
Yeah, like the actual Paul version of that song's beautiful.
It's so,
you know,
it's
just
so stripped back.
It's so nice.
That's for sorry, I felt like I went off talking about it, but for anybody that doesn't know, it's exactly what it is. It's like, obviously the Beatles released Let It Be in 1970, and then it was never the way that they wanted it to be. Well, apparently they argued a lot about it. Like, but
I think John wanted it that way.
John said Phil Spector done a good job on the production, but the way they made Let It Be is that, like, even after all the fights and all the crazy experimentation, at the end of it, Paul decided the best thing to do was to go like back to their roots and make sort of simple rock and roll music, and that's what he wanted to do. So they wrote all these songs, and then Phil Spector just seemed like, I don't know what to do with these, and he overproduced them.
Like, and they were. I mean, there's some great, like, sure, there's that 12-bar blues George Harrison one on that.
Yeah,
you know, For You Blue.
For You Blue, yeah.
And then there's a Dig a Pony as well. That's a great
song.
Dig a
Pony is a
Dig
great
a Pony's
song.
a tune.
Well, I tell you what, I actually can you grab those up for me, Addy? I brought these to show you guys, because I thought
do
you might.
One at a time, or do you want them all?
Just bring them all up. It's cool. Yeah. So I'm
mercy.
I'm a bit obsessed with the Beatles, and
see, I'm the odd one out here.
I'm sorry.
Cool.
No, it's alright.
I just knew that I'd be able to talk to you guys about this.
I'm learning.
Because a lot of people I bring on
just listen, man. Just use those headphones.
I'm sorry, this isn't becoming a Beatles podcast. I'm sorry, but I just knew these guys would appreciate this. So I've been collecting, like, for a few years first edition pressings of the records. Yeah, it's like fighting to get them and bidding for them and
on
stuff
Discogs?
like that.
Is it? Do you use Discogs or?
I've went on it before, but like sometimes it's really lucky eBay things, but you have to like do so much research to make sure it's correct.
Yeah.
And fucking if somebody sees this, and they're probably gonna tell me that's not first edition, but I'm pretty confident they are. But yeah, I just think they're fucking amazing.
Wow,
no, you can have a look through them. I'm not like
pepper.
I'm not a freak about them or anything. You can lift them out and everything. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing that amazes me about that, right? So that's Sgt. Pepper's first edition. There's a thing inside it, like a sleeve pull out, and if you pull it out, it has like a little cutout thing. so you can turn yourself into Sergeant Pepper.
Oh my god!
And is it in the back one or is it in the?
It's in one of them somewhere.
No, it's just.
I hope. If you tell me it's not there, I'm gonna be.
It might be in. Oh no way!
That's the one.
Oh no way! You cut that out and you.
Yeah. And the guy didn't cut it out. I'm like, what the hell? Somebody owned this in like 1967, didn't cut that shit out.
You haven't cut it
Wait,
out?
what?
You-
I haven't
No,
seen
You
it.
haven't cut it out, yeah.
Let's do it now.
Really hastily, you know.
Oh, Jesus. Just use a ruler.
Oh wow.
Unreal.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Whatever, what happened
There's
to
my
records?
favorite
Like,
human being in the world right there.
Ringo.
Ringo is a fucking grump.
oh,
Ringo.
legend.
Ringo, that's beautiful.
Beautiful man.
My dad recently got the reissues, you know, the Fee got the 50th anniversary
Yeah.
reissue. It's got the instrumental, She's Leaving Home, which is
Mm.
unbelievable.
I just listened to something today.
Oh,
Am I
yeah.
gonna have to go on a Beatles? You're gonna have to lend me some.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what's
Like I know,
Just get the
obviously I know the
anthology,
Beatles and
just-
stuff, but
just watch all
I'm not as
the
deep into the Beatles as
That's
obviously
something
everyone
actually,
else.
yeah. Have you heard, you know, the anthology that they released
Yeah,
in
yeah.
96? I got that in DVD.
Oh, you actually have
Oh,
the
yeah.
DVD, dude.
That's-
That's
yeah.
one thing. Like, I have a ridiculous collection. Like, I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I have so much shit, but that's one thing I don't have.
Yeah,
Oh,
how many
man.
DVDs
Yeah.
is in it? 8?
8 DVDs and then there's
It's so
special
expensive
features.
now.
It is.
Yeah.
Do you know what the funny thing is they're like, they were burned off by somebody. They were burned off somebody's computer.
Oh, really?
Like years ago.
Oh,
I think I stole them from my mum one summer when I was grounded. And that's how I got into the Beatles, summer
there
2010.
you go.
I was grounded and I had nothing to do other than watch like a 10-hour Beatles documentary. So
Fair enough,
I
man.
did, and then
I just started down the path at a certain age. Like, I have this really vivid memory in my head of being a certain age, so like a teenager, maybe, I don't know, 12, 13 or something like that. And then I just used to download music all the time. And then I just remember one day being like, there's nothing new out. Like, as in the genres I would listen to, which was mainly like pop punk and stuff whenever I was this certain age or whatever, you know. But then I just decided to start going back. That was the weird thing, and that's
Yeah.
my dad had he always talked about Sgt. Pepper's, and then once I went into it and I listened to it, and it was so diverse and so crazy, then I was interested in it to be like, what the hell is going on here? And then you see whenever you start reading the like mythology and the history of the Beatles,
whole
it's
thing,
fascinating.
It's just
It's
so
just so fucking crazy.
So did that get you into them
good. This
more?
is cool, actually.
Yeah,
The whole-
100%. There's too many weird things, which is why, if like I wreck it for everyone. If you start listening to the Beatles, I'm gonna tell you way too many stories, just because I love all the little facts about things.
The anthology's great for that, man, because it's like straight from the source.
Straight from
you
the
know,
source,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
There it is.
you've got there's Rubber Soul.
There it is.
I know
What's
for
the
a fact.
favorite Beatles album? Actually,
Yeah, that's a
you
big
know,
question. Like.
That was a big
I
question.
It's
actually
time and place, though.
I
Like,
can't
you
answer
know,
it because
yeah.
that's the reason that I love the Beatles so much is because to me they're like the first band that evolved the way they did. You know,
It's the artwork. You know.
they went from tight rock and roll group like
Yeah.
that was the genre that they were within. I think I said this on one of the past episodes as well, but
Yeah, I
like they
think so.
went from that to something completely different. They weren't
They did,
afraid
yeah.
to go outside the comfort zone,
Yeah.
and it's less obvious because it's on such, you know, the production's so old. But whenever you
Yeah.
listen to certain songs, once you get past Rubber Soul and all the instrumentation, like even the subtle things, like
yeah.
sometimes there's like bongos and stuff on the percussion, and you're like,
It's
damn, they
mind-blowing.
really went all
You know
out.
the song Here Comes the Sun. Both Here Comes the Sun and Maxwell Silverhammer.
Yeah,
George Harrison was one of the first people to own one of the first Moog synths.
yeah, for that.
I think he owned the third ever one.
I didn't
the
know.
third one
I didn't
ever
know
made.
it was him though. I thought it was Paul. I thought it was
That was
Paul's,
George.
No?
It was George bought it. Like,
That seems weird.
I know George.
It seems
Oh,
like
just bought the synth, you know.
it seems like a Paul synth. I don't know.
It does, yeah.
It seemed like cartoony, like a Paul thing.
You're gonna need,
Rubber Souls,
you're gonna
Rubber
need
Souls.
Revolver in the mix.
I know,
as well.
dude. I'm
That's
trying to
my
get.
favorite album
I'm trying to
cover,
get Revolver.
I think.
Like they.
Klaus Forman.
Klaus
do that?
Forman,
Yeah.
genius.
The
Great
bassist who
bassist.
played on Plastic Ono Band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best albums.
There's like weird facts to know how their first pressings and stuff, but like on Rubber Soul, there's a really stupid thing about John Lennon's coat being ripped in the photograph, and they photoshopped it out. They like airbrushed it.
Really?
You see his like, isn't it John down in the corner there? He has like a little fray off, and they fixed that, which
No,
was
it's too
weird.
dark, you can't-
Also, Rubber Soul was probably one of the hardest ones for me to get because there's a really weird thing about this. They issued it on the day it came out, right? So the first issues usually last until they sell out, right? But this one got recalled on the first day of release because it was mastered too loud. So whenever you put this on the record player, it's so much louder than all my other records.
Really?
It's really
so
weird.
that is.
Yeah, it's like,
oh wow.
they
So
all
that's.
are. They are.
Oh
they
yeah.
definitely are. But well, I mean, I'm convinced they are. Anyway,
Yeah.
the same with Magical Mystery Tour was really damaged when I got it, but I had to staple the book back in
Yeah.
because it has like a storybook thing.
The
for
book's
itself.
great.
Looks
The book's really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was all
brilliant.
sort of ripped out, but then
Yeah.
I just fixed it.
See, whenever the Beatles have like their next anniversary thing, you should just have your own podcast thing and just
Yeah.
And we just play a bunch of Beatles songs.
and
That
then
would be
just
great.
talk track by
Fine.
track.
That'd be totally fine.
I think that one's it has the red Apple logo on the back instead of the green one, which
That's
is how
cool.
people usually look for that one. But yeah, I thought you guys would like that.
That's
I thought
really
I'd bring
cool.
them up.
Yeah, it's
That's really
It's
cool.
my weird collection that I'm going for.
That's you there, look.
I know that. It's whenever my hair gets grown out and shit.
There's a great.
so good there. Though.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you a story because I was talking to I think it was maybe you guys. I was talking to you guys about how I was like, if you ever look through the linear notes of Paul McCartney's Ram, there's a picture of Paul McCartney and he's holding a sheep, like in a jumper with a beard.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, doesn't it look like Stuart Ledgerwood? And then one day, I was stalking your Facebook.
And I put the profile,
And your profile picture is that picture.
Yeah.
I was like,
Where he's
blown away by that.
pulling the camera and sipping the tea. And
Yeah.
I
yeah,
remember sending you that
the
on instant message. I went, "This has to be your profile
Yeah.
picture."
It was
so
so
true, though, it's
for,
so true.
for a long time, people thought that was me. All my close friends thought that was me as well, just because the picture is like so small on the thing,
Yeah.
and they're just like,
Oh, nice jumper,
fair enough,
Stuart.
yeah.
You know?
I have a camera just like that.
It's
So
just
it was-
everything, just the holding, the cup and the camera, the jumper,
dude, I love
hair,
that.
obviously.
Cause I love Paul. He's a bit of a dick sometimes, but I love him.
Yeah.
He's still going,
He's alive.
still
Yeah,
going.
He's still going.
He's done it all. Like.
I know.
So are the Beatles influential in ZEAL, or like do they have
yeah.
a big, obviously?
Big time, yeah. It's just mainly like they're one of those bands, especially with the later stuff. When I'm a big fan of like really listening closely to music,
Mhm.
if you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
like just picking bits out of it,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit obsessive
No,
compulsive,
no.
but you know who cares.
No, I go. With you.
But the Beatles are great for that because it's so minimal
Mm.
and like a lot of the playing's really minimal as well. You can like really identify what's going
Yeah.
on and like there's so much. I mean, I remember the first time I heard Glass Onion off White Album,
Yeah.
and the strings that came in the chorus just blew me away.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like that has to. You know, how was that not? You know, I can't believe they thought of that. Basically, you
Yeah.
know, like, it was one of those ones.
I get that. That's why I find it a bit bizarre whenever, each to their own, but some people just can't get it with the Beatles,
Yeah.
I guess. I think they're put off immediately from the, like, they're
The
kind
hype,
of
yeah, the hype,
taglined as
yeah.
the greatest band in the world, and it's like, well,
Yeah, that would put a lot of people off.
But
It's-
they are. Though,
Yeah.
so,
I mean, it's true.
it's kinda,
once you get
know.
into them, there's too much in, like, the music alone was incredible, but then just there was too many other things. They had image, and they had like mystery
Their characters
stories
and stuff,
yeah.
and stories and everything. You know, it was just really. I did the Beatles tour in Liverpool actually in last May.
Me and Sarah trying to go on that. My fiance. It's like
Oh,
we kept
it's-
talking about going on it because
It's
we've.
really good.
It sounds amazing, like, but we need to save up to go there because
Yeah.
we're just obsessed with them. And we went to see the bootleg Beatles. You've ever seen them?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen them, but
They're actually
yeah.
really good because the thing that freaks me out whenever you like think about it is the bootleg Beatles have been touring longer than the Beatles ever stayed together.
Yeah, well,
Isn't that weird?
That's really weird.
Like way longer.
Yeah.
They've been doing that thing so much longer, and I was like, weird.
Yeah,
they
that's odd.
have rehearsed the Beatles songs more than the Beatles rehearsed them. Thought that was odd.
That's yeah.
But it was amazing. They were actually the best cover band I've ever seen though, because they really
Yeah.
they sort of go all out with it instead of just coming out to play the thing. They sort of they had like a big projection screen behind them, and like it would do through the years, so that they played a couple of songs off each
yeah.
album, and then they done outfit changes and all that shit. But
Yeah.
they were actually really
We did
good.
a Beatles cover gig.
I don't know why I didn't bring that up. Actually, we did a Beatles cover gig in the Sunflower.
When was that? Was that early on or?
It was like
It was Ringo's birthday.
It was Ringo's birthday.
It was Ringo's birthday. It was July 7th.
I'm sure he
There's
wasn't.
another date.
He wasn't. He
But we did a
probably-
date counter, you know, for every time. Like,
We'll
Should
put
put
them,
that in.
we'll put them at the bottom every time he says them. Ringo.
Did you dress up? Did you just like have
No,
a-
you should have went all out.
no,
No.
we just went and we played. What did we?
Solely Beatles songs.
Yeah, we
All
just
our
sat and
favourites,
played
really.
Beatles songs, and
How
we're-
long was the set?
2 hours.
2 hours.
No, from what I remember,
we
it
did
was like
have like the whole night though,
we did have the whole night. I think
and we did like a
Probably
ZEAL
was
set
2 hours.
beforehand.
Like,
we did a ZEAL set beforehand.
And
and
the
then,
event name was hilarious.
it's not hilarious.
Strawberry ZEALs forever.
That's unfortunate.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what I was
That was
thinking.
hilarious.
That's pretty good. I like that. Puns
And then
are good.
that was the first time that Shannon played with us.
That was the first time that
Is
Shannon
that
played
your
with us.
keyboard player?
Yeah, she plays keys and guitar. She's not here actually, but
Yeah,
we feel bad because me and Calvin were gonna do this, and then Matt today we sort of were like, just come to ours and do this
Yeah.
thing, and then we just never said to either of them, and Matt's not here and Shannon is not.
This is our
look, I'll be
first
honest.
holiday.
It's more my fault. So if she sees it, it's me because
Yeah.
the more we've been doing this, because I mean it's all very DIY in here to run this podcast. And it's like I'm starting to learn that bringing whole bands is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
It's just hard logistically, like with microphone setups and stuff, until we get like more money. We're
Yeah.
looking for sponsorship, so if there's any local businesses want to sponsor me, then do that, so I can get some money. But
Anybody's
that's
listening?
probably not gonna happen. But yeah, we'll just buy it. Like we're still looking for more mic stands for this thing. We only have like a couple, and my mixer only takes so many XLR inputs. So
Yeah.
yeah,
gonna have, like, a
so
big-
it's my fault you're not
So we're
invited.
actually doing a podcast. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a great thing.
Thanks,
Big
man.
fan.
It's one of the-
I just hope it's going well. I thought people would want something like this. So
Yeah.
It's cool, like it's
Watch
it's
every
cool.
episode.
do you actually? Because like I like that. I want to hear feedback about it.
No,
Like,
watch every episode, man. That's so nice.
can I ask you this and like honestly give me direct answer? If you're mean, I'll cut it out. It's fine. Like, do you watch the whole thing, like from start to finish,
Like,
or
watch the whole thing, but that's entirely my fault. Like, I don't pay attention to things.
no? But that's what I feel. It's not you. It's like sometimes I'm like, is it too long? Do people want it to be long? But the thing that I want
You
it.
want long stuff
do.
though. That's
You
what
do.
you
That's-
want. It can just sit in the background.
That's
Like,
the
'cause
thing. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I do,
Well, people
like,
do that with
zone in and
podcasts
out.
as
Yeah,
well.
I
you know.
listen to podcasts every day.
You
So do
listen to
I,
them before
yeah.
you go to
Joe
sleep.
Rogan Experience,
you know, you
Tim
do that.
Ferriss, all
Yeah.
I
the-
fucking like this guy's list
all
already.
the- Duncan Trussell. I listen
Yo,
to a lot,
what?
Christopher
Right, so
Ryan's
so
one
we've
of
got
my
a Formula One
favorites.
podcast and then a Beatles one. And
Yeah.
That's all the podcasts,
Keep
you know?
bringing
They can have their own
Yeah.
show.
It's just
They
it's
can
just
do
for
their own
buses walking through town.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Yeah.
great for background. Like,
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just whenever I set it up, my whole intention was that, as far as I was aware, nobody is doing that thing for the local
Yeah.
circuit. Like I
Yeah.
think there's a couple on the local scene, but they're very specific. I think there's like a metal one, but it's only about people in metal bands.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not one that really goes around everything and tries to say these are the things going
Look what we
on
find,
in
yeah,
Belfast.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I just have a list of shows here, and it's just like to kind of help promote them because people throw them up all over the place. But
Yeah.
if there's one place you can go to and be like, yeah, here's a bunch of shows. But I didn't want the podcast to be, like a short, like let's make it snappy, let's make it quick
Yeah.
thing, because that's
Don't need for
It's
that.
just throwaway material, then
well, that's
like,
that's
it's-
what you can get from other places, right?
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
get on ATL or something like that to do a live session, they'll talk to you for a bit, but it's gonna be very like
Yeah.
quick in and out, and
Yeah.
blasts
Yeah.
FM and stuff like
Yeah,
that, like
the-
all those sort of things, which are great, but they're a lot faster, and it's like I wanted to have somewhere people could come and just like talk
I
like
think-
about whatever.
If you have something like a long form like this, people that watch it could get to know you as in like
Yeah.
on a personal level, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna
Exactly.
go check them out just because of the world of
Yeah.
reality TV. Oh, what's
I know,
Yeah.
I know. What?
Hey, man.
I think I've probably said it too many times on this, but it was like the original idea was because I was talking to a lot of people after shows. Whenever bands would stick around and you could get into a conversation for like
Yeah.
half an hour.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was like the best part of the night, even after you played a set, it's just two bands going to get together and telling loads of stories and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, we should probably like put that on somewhere because not everyone sticks around or
Document
you miss
this,
out
yeah.
on it. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll document it.
I just
So.
tagged along because I've always wanted to do something like this.
Yeah.
It's like
Andy loves podcasts, so
I
he
fucking podcast, Twitch, everything.
he had to set me right and be like, yes, this is a podcast that you're doing. Like, this is podcast material. But yeah, no, thank you. Like I do really appreciate it for anybody that like
It's nice to be here as well. Thank you for the invite.
Of course, man. Like the
No,
more
I forgot. I mean, because me and the local scene are very, we're getting closer.
Yeah.
But just to talk to yous and like listen to what yous do and everything, it's just cool. Like with Surf Green and RAR, it's like.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's kind of another thing that I said is like, we want to start this with like the people that are gonna be watching our musicians, like you guys, and it's like, it's amazing that we have you on board, and it's like, how do we get through to like people that aren't on the music scene? Like Andy's not a musician, but now he's here doing this, so all of a sudden there's an interest gaining because he's getting to know you guys. Like once he's met you tonight, then there's a fan basically. He's gonna check you out. So. But yeah, I'll not go on and on about the podcast. Not why I'm here. You guys are on it. People are watching it already. It's fine.
This is the podcast.
Yeah, people know why they're here. It's fine. So something I want to ask you. I don't know how to put it without sounding like I'm being offensive. I don't mean this. But I've always noticed, like, since the first time I've seen you guys, I just can't really get any of your music anymore. Like.
Yeah.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
What's up with that?
I tried to listen to it this morning.
That comes from me being about as picky as you can be about being unpicky. If you understand what I mean.
No, not at all.
It's like it's kind of difficult because I like to do a lot of that recording production kind of stuff myself as well. It's kind of like part of the enjoyment for me is like. Just sort of sitting at 2 a.m. and like playing the drums as quietly as possible, and like stuff like that. And we've done a couple. We did that one recording that was just a bit of a nightmare. Really, it was.
Did you go somewhere for it, or was it?
No, it was. It was sort of strange. It was like one of those ones where, like the ZEAL Facebook page was messaged. By somebody who was like coming to the show. I'm not gonna name names or anything.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It was somebody who was coming to the show who wanted to record, and I thought, okay, well, this is cool. This is some person who just wants to record
live.
No, it was. They were gonna come to a show.
Right, okay.
They were coming to the show tonight.
Yeah.
And we would like to talk about recording and stuff like that. And I kind of was like, okay, well, I do a lot of this myself anyway, so But at this point, I was getting frustrated with not having any equipment because I did have a lot of equipment, but what happened was I was recording on tape and then was setting my iPad beside it and singling tracks and recording them track by track on GarageBand on an iPad microphone and putting them onto SoundCloud. So it was coming from a tape machine out of some speakers into an iPad microphone, and then it was all
that is the grind.
Everything that was on. I know. It's the epitome of lo-fi.
Yeah, it was very. That was
someone
ultra lo-fi.
Someone give me my paper crown. But we were.
I know. Okay, you don't want to know how I started recording.
Let's do the same thing.
Was it headphones up against the?
I had like, whenever I was a kid, and I started. Like, I don't know, took the inkling to like, record something and be like, oh, I've written something cool. At first it was just recording myself with a guitar into this microphone, like this shitty computer microphone. Yeah. And then there was one, just the first time where I'm like, I want to play something on top of this. No, I mean, I was young, like, I started at like 11 or 12 or something. So the only thing I recorded on was Sound Recorder on Windows. And then I used that. That was cool. It was funny. It was like the background of all. I still have the tracks. It's quite funny, but I still have them. Every track's like at the start. It's like all this white noise. But yeah, I like.
It's beautiful though in a way. It's like
it's funny. I just remember the first time wanting to overdub something, but I didn't even know the term overdub. Like that's how long ago this is. Didn't know that multi-track and it existed. And thought I'd invented it because I recorded. What way did I do this? I recorded myself playing guitar and singing into a microphone on Sound Recorder. Saved that file. Then I had 2 sound recorders open. I was playing one, played the audio that I'd already recorded out of my speakers into the mic, but then played the riff close enough to the microphone so that it was also captured.
Oh
Just
God.
constantly downgrading the
Unreal.
quality every time.
Unreal.
And then, damn, whenever I got multi-tracking, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was just like, you can. This is so much easier. Like, you record multiple things? What?
That's crazy. That's even better than... I used to have one of those... What were they called? The mini discs. Do you remember they were?
Oh,
do you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
them? Yeah, I had one of those when I was about 4. I found a couple of mini discs, and my CD player, my hi-fi that I've got at the moment, has a mini disc player, and I played them and was like, "Whoa, I forgot that even." It's like 14-year-old me trying to rip off
Damn,
Alice
man.
in Chains, and it's it's on an acoustic guitar,
Yeah, that format didn't last long. Mini discs. So.
Yeah,
That
bad.
was out quick.
But
Just take a bag, would you, of just different ones? Just...
I know. It wasn't really that much more convenient than a
No.
CD. I don't know why people thought they were.
Yeah.
Oh, it's smaller though.
but what was it you said? Oh yeah.
So I was just saying about
Music being available. Yeah. You know what? It's just because I haven't got anything perfectly done. We're actually getting a studio, believe it or not, fairly soon. We need to...
What, you guys are getting a space or renting a space or what? Are you...
Renting
Us
space.
and then 4 other guys.
Right.
7
okay.
ways. So
Friends,
it's...
3
Yeah.
different bands, load of friends.
3 different bands, and we're just gonna basically, just show up and,
Make
like
it
we need to
beautiful.
make it beautiful, yeah.
Make
But
it beautiful.
we've got
That's
this
awesome.
rehearsal space lined up, which is just gonna be. I mean, I plan over the summer just to sit down and just do it once and for all, and then we'll see what we do. I've got a couple kind of weird notions in my head in ways to release stuff.
Yeah.
Part of me wanted to go through the, like the idea, like the way old school singles were released on 7-inch,
Yeah.
and then you got B-sides that never appeared anywhere else.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I kind of want to do some sort of like grab as many live recordings as possible and put them on B-sides.
Yeah.
And release like little 7-inch kind of stuff.
That would be really cool, actually.
It would be expensive, but it would be cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
It would be really
that's
expensive
the
and
hard
maybe
thing.
unrealistic, but but in terms of like, I think the other thing as well is like the whole DAW thing has always kind of spooked me a bit. It's a bit, it's very full on. I don't have the patience for it either. It's it's one of those things. Now, saying this, I just got a MacBook yesterday, thankfully.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Damn.
yeah,
Expensive.
I know. I have student loan.
Yeah. Oh, that's alright.
That's all I
then.
need to say.
Government.
That's fine. Government paid for
So,
Mhm.
thank you for that one.
Sometimes I look at you in tech while we're meant to be doing like recording work, and you're just looking at like a Pro Tools session. Just
that.
looking blankly at it.
I don't get it. Like, I
Really?
don't get it. I'm totally at home with cassettes
Yeah.
and like 4 tracks and stuff like that, and that's fine. And like slicing up tape is. I used to have like a wee,
Yeah.
like a little tape deck that you could, tape splice and stuff
That's
on and
cool.
everything. But it broke a long time. Well, it was always sort of broken anyway. But
Is that, so, are you guys all studying music production, or is it like music
No,
generally, or
just music.
performance or something.
music
like
performance,
that, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So do you just do production as like a
Side.
It's one of
Side.
those
yeah,
things,
it's like a
sorta.
little segue from it all, but
Yeah,
it's
right.
it's good fun actually. It's just a bit, I don't know, it's very full on, I mean, for me, it was always like a case of, and then like even like watching documentaries of some of my favorite artists, and they all record on tape, and it's very much just
yeah,
like set a microphone there and then play.
yeah,
Whereas with all the like, I hate the fact that there's like, what do you call them? The way like you actually
Raspberry.
get like outboard like compressors and reverb stations and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What are they called when
Oh,
they're in behind a screen?
Oh, like plugins?
Plugins.
Plugins, yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Plugins.
Plugins.
Like, what is that? But like I just can't. There's something about just them not being
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
That I just can't get my head around, and I just don't.
It's funny though, because
Yeah.
I like, I don't know how else to say it other than like, I really like, I respect that. I really
Yeah.
do. I just like, I
Thank
feel the same to a degree, because I know that we just can't move forward without basically using all that. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, Adam, who's over there right now.
Right there.
I don't know if
Very
I don't know if he's in a
angry
shot, but he's just popped up on
It's like
TV
he
as
is
soon as I said his name. Yeah, he's like, he has a master's in production, like
Ah, yeah,
in
yeah.
music, and he's an amazing producer. Like, he knows Pro Tools inside out, sometimes better than people that we work with. But it's kind of scary how good he is at it, and he's definitely a perfectionist when it comes to it. He has the art of like Pro Tools, and I've learned a lot from him. And it's like, I don't know. I think out of everyone in the band, I don't know, maybe that's fair to say, but I'm the person that probably listens to the most like pre-digital era.
Yeah.
And I just have such an appreciation for that, because I remember whenever we made our second EP, To Water on Mars, which, funnily enough, it's 2-year anniversary today. I just realized.
Fuck, I seen that on Facebook earlier.
That's gonna be a date that I'm gonna remember now as well. You know, this is how it works. You say one thing, and I'll go, right, okay, it's registered in my head, the 2-year anniversary of.
We didn't plan it, because we released our new EP on the 27th, and I was like, oh, whoops, I must have like a weird thing for this date or something. I was like, oh, yeah, well, 27th. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, whenever we were in recording that, so that would have been 2 years ago, I was faced with my first look at like shit, what do you call the software? I'm gonna forget.
Pro Tools or
no, it's like it's a plugin. What do you call it? It wasn't Auto-Tune. It was the other one, Melodyne.
Melodyne. Yeah, I've heard that.
I'd never seen Melodyne before, and it freaked me the hell out. Have you guys seen it? Yeah, like.
Nope.
Vaguely, I think I've heard Ross talk about it.
I'd
occasionally.
If you see it, it'll just terrify you, and it just really freaked me out at the time, because we'd done like our second EP. The way we recorded it was as a live band, right? Because we were trying to save money, so we all got in the live room. It was at Start Together, and we went in there and we had to play the songs through. We done like so many takes of each, and then take the best take. You couldn't really edit much because it's live.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty stripped back EP, and then we'd overdub the vocals.
Yeah.
So you had more time to fix the vocals, fair enough. But we were working on a time schedule, so we had to be quick. There was only one thing that we put through Melodyne, and it was bizarre. There was just one note where consistently on almost every take I'd done on one day, I must have been flat every single time. And they just opened it up, and it's like, you sing the note, right? And they open the plugin up on the screen. And they play that one note soloed, so it'll be like me singing something, and you'll see the waveform come in, and then all of a sudden the plugin just it just separates it into where the notes are meant to be. So there's like a grid at the side that tells you if you're like E, A flat, whatever, on the left hand side, and then it has all these little like little boxes, you know. So this wave format is suddenly little squares.
Whoa.
And the stuff you can do is like, you know, you can move it to what note you want it to be on, but then it sounds fake.
Yeah.
And it sounds like auto-tuned.
Yeah.
But then what they do is like, you can like draw a line, so you can put an artificial curve on it, which means it makes your voice go up and down so that it sounds like you hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
And then again, if it sounds like it's pitch shifting too much, there's like a tool. Adam explained it to me as like, essentially what the tool is doing is like controlling the size of what your throat would be. So like, you know, if it's a note too high that you couldn't reach and it sounds fake, that it's modulating you up to that note. You use this tool, so it makes it sound like you do hit it. I don't know, it was really confusing. But it just freaked me out, because he just fixed it and then he plays it back, and I was like, I just sing it perfectly, and I'm like, what?
It's whenever he clicks and drags, that's the thing that's really scary, because you just get like this flat and he clicks on it and it goes
yeah, you can just
yeah.
you can just move it around. I mean, everybody's heard like the auto-tune used as like a, you know, like a tool in a song. Like you use it as like a stylistic approach, and people think that's what T-Pain or Kanye. But people think that's what auto-tune is, and it's like that day it seems so late on for me, like, you know, having done production a lot, but I never seen it used in that way before, and I was like,
wow,
you know, once you hear it, you realize that everything on the radio you hear, like everything, is put through Melodyne. So painstakingly every note that somebody sang is basically put through Melodyne, like for almost all pop music, a lot of rock music, almost everything. And the reason why is because once people get used to hearing that once, you notice when somebody's flat all the time. They don't realize what's bad about it, but they know that it doesn't sound good. You know, they hear a recording that hasn't been like perfectly tuned. And that's why, I don't know, a lot of people would probably argue with me and say that people don't do it, but there's definitely a sound to it, and the most popular music in the minute, no matter who it is just it's been put through auto-tune or Melodyne.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that kind of scares me, because then I'm like, how can you do stuff like you're saying with, you know, it's a niche audience to appreciate it, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's like, and that's another thing as well, when you have like producers who like are able to sit behind, you know, this computer screen and kind of just like, you know, I don't know what they, I don't know what they do. Yeah.
Just sit and fix.
Yeah. And it scares me a wee bit, because it's kind of like, oh, I like that buzzy sound, you know. Like, you know, like I remember one time as well being like, I think it was might have been that same session, and I was like, I'm a big advocate of like one microphone 4 foot in front of the drum kit, because to me, if you put, you know, you don't have like 8 ears for every individual tom.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to hear a drum kit recorded, I think you should stand 4 foot in front of it.
Yeah.
And you can hear, you know, so why not just replace your ears with the microphone? And I remember I said that,
screaming everywhere.
Yeah, I said that to an engineer, and he was like, "You're an idiot," and just went on and just did, you know, what he was. I was like, okay.
See, that's not fair either. That's what annoys me, because I feel like I can get you on that level, because I have anybody that knows me knows that I have this huge like love and fascination for like lo-fi music and stuff like that, as well as anything pre-digital. I've always been super into. Yeah, and I have no idea if you guys had a chance to hear it, but I've like my solo thing I'm doing, and that's exactly the kind of sound I'm trying to get. Now I'm still working through like software, you know. It's still digital, but I'm not doing all that stuff, you know. If you know what I mean, like I want it to be lo-fi, and I'm using intentionally shit 808s as my backing, because that's what I want.
It's kind of it's weird to do that, because that's the thing as well, when you use like a DAW and you try to go for that lo-fi thing, it's
sometimes it's hard.
It's not, it just doesn't want you to do that. It's like, no, what are you doing? You know, it doesn't, you know, guitars don't sound that bad, you know. Stop that.
Mac DeMarco's a good current advocate of using tape and going old school.
He's sort of like rewritten the rule book on it as well, you know. It's kind of, which is cool to see in a way, but at the same time I'm kind of like, oh, I wish he didn't, you know. I wish that was like, you know, I wish nobody knew about that again still.
Wish you did that.
I know. But he's cool. He's sort of, you know, he's sort of what people needed for that sense, you know. I mean, I was never a huge Mac DeMarco fan until this Old Dog came out.
Oh really?
And then the drum sound on that album just had me sold. Like, it just sounds so fat and 70s, you know. I'm a sucker for like 70s drums. Yeah. You know, and DI'd bass. You know, it's just
that as well. It's like, again, a very old conversation before I understood what I was hearing, and I was trying to get it explained, and I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Adam who tried to tell me what I was trying to talk about. Was like the old drum sound on like Beatles records and you know, Rolling Stones records and stuff like that, and I was like, there's just something about it that sounds like it's just been recorded fucking terribly, and it's like, that's what I want. It's like, how do you get that? And it's like, it's just oversaturation. It's like the way that, I don't know, it's something to do with the way they record it, and they try and crank the volumes up. I don't know, but it's too loud, so it's just like creating a slight distortion every time they play something, and I was like, I love that.
That's funny.
I
actually,
love that sound.
There was a guy, you've heard me talk about, Jim O'Rourke. I talk about this guy Jim O'Rourke all the time, and Jim O'Rourke, everybody type it in, listen to Jim O'Rourke. That's all I'm saying. But
down with a guitar and you just hear him twiddling, you can already tell that it's just something about Jim O'Rourke.
he does all these. He's like this kind of crazy. He does everything basically. Like, he does a lot of free jazz kind of stuff, and then he does a lot of weird kind of indie rock stuff in like 7/8 and stuff. But he said, I was listening to an interview with him lately. Cool, very cool. I was listening.
Do me a favor and tell me this guy's name afterwards whenever I can
put it
in my phone.
Yeah,
because I want to know.
But he said something. I was listening to an interview with him, and he said the best bass drum sound he ever got was he took the head off of a drum, and he put a microphone like right up to it, and he just tapped it, and it was just this big. And he said that's the best bass drum sound that he's ever. So I gotta try that. You know, I really want to try that. But it might work terribly. Maybe he's just a genius, and it works terribly for everybody else. And
that's the funny thing is there's people that'll hear stuff like that and just freak out. But like, it's production's as much about experimentation as music is, in my opinion. Anyway, is like again, there's no right answer. Is like
Exactly.
sometimes shitty recordings is like I kind of like the shittiness of it. There's no other way to get
Exactly.
around it, you know. But-
Exactly.
So is that something do you try and do that? Like do weird sounds or anything? Try and find a sound from something
Yeah, I had a
out
sound.
of the box.
I had a sound stuck in my head. I wanted to get a piece of paper, changing and put it in reverse so that it went
Okay.
like with the beat of it. You know, landslide.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, if I like, you know, like put a microphone, like record something and then put it through a sampler and then reverse it, you
Yeah.
can get this like
And put it
backward whisper thing going through. And I wanted to. I was
like-
thinking about that.
I wanna
You
know
have,
what
like,
that
a
sounds
reverse
like.
delay, don't you?
It wouldn't work with the reverse delay though. It would need to be a sampler, and then to reverse the sample.
But where would
Yeah.
you put it? What do you mean? Like where would you?
I would put it,
on the kick.
you know,
and
the
snare.
way landslides.
Oh.
So
So it'd be on the kick.
Okay.
Yeah, we like on the
Like
kick.
a rhythmic thing.
yeah, it'd be a rhythmic thing,
Okay.
Yeah.
or like yeah, how cool. See what I mean?
And that okay,
I had
I'm
to-
starting to
yeah.
realize why there's no Zeal material of it.
Yeah, because it's like
It's all conceptual. It's
Pat-
conceptual band.
Patrick's
don't
off
actually
somewhere
play.
fucking sampling a page. And it's like, oh.
So there's, in fact, if you've ever heard any of the SoundCloud stuff, you'd be surprised how much of that has like the sound of washing machines on it. You know, just in the
Yeah.
background
Oh,
somewhere.
really?
Sounds great.
It's because it has like just for like extra clicks and stuff and like little things.
Atmosphere. You
That's
know.
weird.
It's nice, but I don't know. I don't know what the wackiest thing that's ever been done. Probably. Oh, I can't think. Probably just like mic placement on like, you know, drums that engineers would kill me for.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like really just like stupid stuff.
And that was the
Like-
real problem with that like session that we went
Yeah.
recorded.
Oh, what
Yeah.
drum sound?
So produced.
It was
So
so
produced.
overproduced.
It was the song All Right as
Yeah,
well,
I
which
know.
you know,
I
it's,
know,
it's
yeah.
kind of like, yeah. And I think as well, it was like, it was
I-
one of those ones.
I know how I want All Right to sound when it's recorded.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
Tin Canny, you know.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like-
the funny thing is like I'm imagining it now overproduced and I can hear it and it's like it's not really the same
Yeah.
thing.
Jangly,
It's really
I get
not.
that.
high-end
It was
and
jangly and a lot of cymbals
just
and stuff
dumping
all
that
over
snare, dumping
Yeah.
those-
Yeah,
and it was.
It would
yeah.
start sounding like really like punk rocky that song, and that's just not you guys
Yeah.
because it would sound like that whenever it's overproduced and the guitars are too distorted and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
like
Oh, the guitars were
were
the guitars were the worst. Like,
oh,
the guitars. There was like there was
Oh, I
5
haven't listened
mics
to
or
this.
4 mics on the
Yeah,
cabs,
yeah.
and then they were all double tracked, and there must have been.
And
I
then
think
he
yeah.
got you to do like 3 takes for each like
Ear.
like effect that you wanted for as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So there
Mhm.
was like
It was-
12 plus guitar tracks, and that was just electric guitar.
It was just,
Are
and
you
in my
serious?
head, I was like, okay, we'll get an acoustic. We'll
well,
get
he
an
was like
electric, and
doing
we'll
like
get,
wall of sound or some shit to try and like
yeah,
bulk it up whenever you actually want it stripped back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
It was, yeah,
So you just want to do no fancy, just strip
nothing
back
fancy,
recording.
no, nothing,
I like
nothing
that.
fancy, just
I like
just
that.
songs.
Song, right?
Yeah,
Just
I like
songs, you know.
Like you said, just the mic there with the
Timid,
drums
yeah.
and the thing.
It's-
Yeah, I like
you know
that.
what-
It's like a natural sound.
You know
when
what's a
you're doing
good example for you for like to try and explain it in production terms is like you've listened to Nirvana, right? And you've listened to think so? Right, you've listened to Nevermind, right?
Yes.
Imagine how Nevermind sounds and then In Utero, you know the album after that. You remember
Oh yeah,
that one?
Steve
Yeah.
Albini did
Yeah.
that. And
I was like,
he's-
there's the difference that kind of they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like on a different scale, but Nevermind is so overproduced, like
Yeah.
ridiculously overproduced. No matter how good an album that is, it's like the most produced Nirvana is, and it's kind of
Yeah.
weird for them as a
It's
band.
really
It doesn't
weird.
doesn't suit them, but
they're
like
the,
it's
they're the best songs he ever wrote as well, and they're just
not in
Oh,
the style of
it
Nirvana.
hurts so
it's
much.
weird.
12-year-old me didn't realize, but it hurts so much
I know,
now listening to like Drain You, which is such a great song,
I know.
and it's just guitar everywhere, and you know,
I'm talking like I was there, like I knew what the original Nirvana sound was, but it's just you see the difference, and then it's like In Utero, like a lot of people are like, and that was where they went wrong. That was the shit album. And I was like, no, that's what they were meant to sound like because he done exactly what you said. Like I remember a thing about I just read it or something, but what Steve Albini said about how he recorded drums for Dave Grohl, and he said, Whenever you have a good drummer, you just put a couple of mics in a room and let him drum. Then,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's all it was.
All in the player. Like this guy right here.
Yeah.
His nickname's Mr. Magic Fingers for a reason. Like.
Yeah.
Like I've said it like a million times. It's just this band that the best word is the dynamics. The dynamics of the band is you guys just have it like locked down. Like in everything you're playing is like sometimes it's just so soft and it's like
very restrictive as well, which is great practice. You know, our type of music.
Yeah.
Like I play in so many funk bands and like fucking neo jazz soul shit. You know, with Screaming Mother and all. It's so fun to play with, but sometimes you just want to get rid of all that mad stuff and play beats and just relax. I keep hitting that fucking camera. I'm sorry.
No, don't you worry at all. It's fine. That camera would love to see you.
Hey,
I thought it.
oh no.
Yeah. It's just evident whenever you see you guys, because that's why whenever I seen you, I was like, these guys playing for years or whatever, because the way that you play is like so vulnerable. It's so open. There's so much space.
The holes are the biggest part of it. Like that's.
But it's like there's no like tension in it. Like I don't see you guys are so comfortable with it, and that's what makes the song and the performance is like it's so open and just like there in your face, and it's like you guys are just laid back, like completely chill about it. And I was like, I feel so comfortable watching this band play these songs, you know.
We have you going ahead actually.
I think just part of it is actually enjoying the music.
Yeah.
Like Patrick just writes fucking beautiful songs.
He's a fucking poet. Like
it's true. It's true.
It's just gonna tuck into the chocolate here.
You deserve a treat.
Love me.
Maybe I'll have them feed me. Talking with my mother. I'm the hedonistic one.
No, lyrically your songs are amazing though. I told you that as well, because like that's how you have to know I'm a fan, because like I can't get your stuff online. It's not like I listened to a bunch of stuff before you came here because I couldn't. There was nothing there to listen to. I know your songs from seeing you guys, you know, and maybe it's only been like 3 times or something. I think maybe I've seen you now, but
I think
it was like I started remembering the songs and whatever. I love All Right. I told you I love Daisy.
Daisy's a funny one, because Daisy was one that I just shouldn't have put out because it's too advanced for the other ones. It's like all keyboards and like fluttery kind of pop stuff.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that's what I was gonna say, is it's so catchy. I mean, that's like, it might not be what you want to do, but like that's the single that's gonna grab people's attention. I think it's like if you throw it out there, a lot of people will be in. You know, like all in from that one, because it's an earworm. Yeah, and it's like it got me straight away, but. There's other great songs too. I mean, I just don't know the names of all of them because they're not up anywhere.
Yeah.
That one.
That one's but it's funny though, we get like weird kind of responses at gigs. You know, we get like those people who come up and they're like, I don't know what their deal is, but maybe they haven't like seen anything
other than
like
loud,
you know, than something loud, and they kind of and they come up and they're really and then you get some people who just do the like, all right,
I didn't get it.
You know, and then you just tell that they didn't get it, and but that's fine, you know, it's, you know,
there'll be a
designed for
you know, be like
people.
A misconception because you're slightly softer that you're like opening the set or some shit, but like that's not fair. That's not fair on singer songwriters and acoustic musicians. They always get thrown at the opening slot because people think it's a dip in pace if you have them closer to the end, but like to me it's I don't know, sometimes I feel like that time we played after you in Pavilion, didn't we? It's like District. I remember my thought was, I mean, I was confident in Slick District, but there was part of me who was just like, because you guys were such a different style, and I was like, damn, I respect that. I was like, how do you follow that in a way of like, you know, the tone is set for a very how do you say, it's like a mature sense of music, and I was like, we're gonna go up there fucking dicks out and play big shitty dirty riffs and just be like blah, blah, blah. It's just like after this really tender moment from this amazing band, and we're gonna go up there and be like, what's happening, man? Like, no,
like,
I was nervous about that, but
we even have like loud songs, like
All Right
can get loud.
if we wanted to.
There's
Depends what we're
bits in
feeling
like
on that day, you know.
there's the bit in Daisy where it just goes all just whoa.
Yeah.
Queen of the Rodeos,
Queen of the
loud.
Rodeos,
Mm.
loud.
Brittle Star.
Brittle
Sky
Star
Baby,
is one of my
Brittle
favourites,
Stars.
but we don't play them because we don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like the. I mean, I've always been a fan of like a lot of bands I listen to are always quite loud, you know. Like
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins, they're like, I remember getting into them when I was like 12, and the first thing I noticed was Billy Corgan can write the most in-your-face metal song, and then he can write the most delicate little, you know, lullaby kind of thing. I always liked that, and then, but like over like the last like little while, I was like, the more we thought about it, and the more even these guys being like, I love playing quiet, you know, it's great fun playing quiet, and like the more we thought about it, I was like, well, maybe we should just do more quiet stuff, you know, because then that's the kind of stuff that people kind of go, you know, why are they, when's, you know, they kind of, it's
Yeah.
funny,
They're
you
like,
kind of
when
see
are you
people
gonna
like
get
waiting for
for, like,
like,
a
you
get
know,
up?
like,
Where's
it's
the
like,
mic
wait for it.
you know?
And then you finish and they go, all right,
That's I mean, I got that from you guys because whenever I seen you at the pavilion, the songs that you guys chose to play on a shorter set, you definitely played all right. I
we
think
played Queen of the Rodeo.
I was gonna say you played Queen of the
Yeah.
Rodeo too. But you played a lot of, you know, high energy songs like that.
Yeah.
And then I came to see in Hop House, and it was like, like you
Yeah.
know, that was the tender chill gig, and
Yeah.
I was like, but that was perfect for me because I went with Curtis, who unfortunately isn't here, couldn't come here tonight.
Yeah.
But me and Curtis went to see you guys, and it was like, it was so chilled out because we were just sitting with drinks at the bar, and it's like the way Hop House is laid out, and you guys were just in the corner like a little house band,
Yeah.
but you're playing original material, and I was like, it was such a chilled out vibe, and then you like took a little intermission in between, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. My dad always told me to take intermissions.
Take an
You've earned
intermission.
your 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
That's what he always
Go
said.
for a break.
So
we turned it in half an hour.
we turn it in half an hour, yeah.
You know what? It's probably better because if you played it like straight out for 2 hours, it might be
Yeah,
a bit too
that'll be-
intense, right?
Yeah,
So a break
yeah.
is nice for everyone because then we
Yeah.
went and got drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
So I take it it's just the style of music that you do live. It's just easy just to do that long 2-hour set just to.
I think,
Is it?
well,
Yeah.
that's part of, like, because it's quiet, it's not
Yeah,
strenuous. You
you
don't
guys-
have to put all your energy into it.
It's chill
Yeah.
vibes
So-
instead of like, you know, flat out like all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas 30 minutes of bebop
just
set,
like-
I'm done.
Yeah.
I say if you're doing like a 2-hour set, you know, there's like a quarter of it, or like half of it's probably quietish songs, quiet, moderate songs, and then a quarter of it's really loud ones, and then another quarter of it's very, very quiet ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of, they're always split up well-ish
Yeah.
as well. You know, you kind of always open a set with a loud one, and then
Yeah, there's an art.
You can
and
go
set
quiet.
list, isn't there?
there
Oh,
is,
yeah,
yeah, there
definitely.
is. There's a real art and set
Yeah,
list.
sure.
And we do the whole, I'm a big fan of like, you know, echo, oscillation
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. So
Fine
we do the
tunes.
whole,
Yeah.
you know, we've mastered the art of me making noise and then turning around, and then they're like, you know,
Yeah,
1, 2,
yeah.
3, 4, and then we're into it, you know. So
That's
there's
cool.
a lot of like,
If you want to see
noises
that
and all.
done terribly, come to our EP launch on Friday. because we do that for the
Nice.
first song into the second song. We started
Beautiful.
doing a thing with that exactly the same because like
yeah.
I think that's the first time I seen a live band do it was you guys like
Really? Yeah.
yeah I never really seen, I mean definitely locally anyway,
Yeah.
you know, I never seen anybody do something like that, but I remember that from whenever you guys were going into
Yeah.
the other ones, and I was like, oh, that's
I
dope.
can't tell you
And
who
I
I've
s-
stolen
then I
that from,
stole
'cause
it.
there's
Yeah.
so many.
I stole it from you.
I stole it from so many bands. I don't even know which one.
Well, it's kind of cool. We sort of just do it at the end. We have like a God, what's that pedal called, Mike? You have
The one that does the repeats.
yeah,
Yeah.
shimmer verb
Canyon.
thing. It's a canyon, yeah.
Oh
It-
yes, I've seen that.
we use
That's
a,
cool.
We use a canyon and then like do a loop reverb thing, and
Yeah.
then just a boom,
Kind of
boom, boom,
helps
boom, boom.
because we had a instrument switch thing, so we were trying to.
Yeah,
work
we
out-
needed
Yeah.
to fix
Oh,
because
yeah.
I've
That's right. You play bass and then
yeah on the first
yeah.
song, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah. People will see that on Friday. This will probably be out way after Friday, but our EP launches then. So thanks everybody who came. And I'm sure it was an amazing night, filled with plenty of
For coming.
Sorry for what I done.
Why did you do that? Come on.
So what I was going to ask, because obviously you write loads of songs and stuff. What's your if do you have like a routine or something, like where do you write, like any sort of?
I don't know. No, not really. No. I mean, I hear people who do like the whole, like, you know, like the whole writing, like trying to write like, you know, 7 songs a week. And that's just,
I've tried that before as like an intense sort of therapy thing to try and, you know, fix writer's block.
But all you're doing is just going around in circles. I don't know if it works for.
So is it just a thing like it comes to you and you just go, or do you like?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a song a couple days ago, but before that, I swear I hadn't written a song since like September.
Right.
You know, and it didn't. You know, it doesn't bother me because it's just. Oh, we're getting offered beer. I'll just put a thumbs up. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know what.
Sorry, go ahead. There's like a beer intermission.
There we go.
Thank you, sir.
We can.
Do you need one more? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
But what were we talking about? Songwriting.
Just songwriting.
Thanks.
Just anything like instruments. So like that goes for you as well. Was there any sort of like time?
Oh, my songwriting process is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I go like 6-7 months without writing something, and like
that's it though.
Write one song and then don't write another
Yeah.
thing for another 6-7 months.
Like I know
It's
that's
terrible.
the same for you, Patrick. You kind of clumps of creativity. You know, maybe a week or two full on writing, and you just don't want to touch a song.
You don't want to. It's funny. It's like there's no. I have zero method. You know, a lot of the time it's just, you know, you hear something in your head and you go, God, I hope I get to a piece of paper before that's gone.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I think the best song I've ever written is gone. You know, it was in there one day and then it's just gone.
I kind of love that saying. That's a really good.
You should write a song about that.
That's a good quote. I kind of like that because it's true. Like, it'll happen to me a lot in whenever I'm in work. I'm just mindlessly doing something and then I get it in my head. But the hardest thing in our work is that we have like a radio station that plays all the time, and it's like I gotta get somewhere with my phone to record this into my phone, and even then it's just me like trying
whispering.
to I gotta do the bass line and everything. Like it's amazing. And then I get it home and I'm like, what? because the rhythm's out of your head then, and you're like, I did not record this very well on my phone, and I just get lost because I immediately latch on to like a key that a song on the radio is playing and work all the time, and we have no place for me to get away from it. The locker room has speakers with the radio playing. You can't you can't get out of it. So it's fucking terrible, and I always think I come up with really good things in there, and then they're gone. I'll never come back to them. I'm all just like, I knew what the subject meant. Like I had a lyric in my head for something, and I was like, I don't know how it went.
The amount of times I've had lyrics and like written them, and they must have been like, you know, associated with a melody, and then it just, you know, it disappears. I look at them and it's just empty words. I'm like, oh, where did I go with this? You know, what was my angle here? You know, and you never get it back, and you just, you know, you throw it away somewhere, and then, you know, 6 months later, you're like, oh, there was something that rhymed with that back here. You know, and it maybe comes back or something.
I'll I don't have a method. I'm exactly the same. Sometimes I've came back to a really old song way down the line, but I would say I do that the least. The one thing that's pretty consistent with me is once I'm on to an idea, I'm forced to follow it through. Within a small space of time. Like, I'll write.
Do it now, you know.
The songs that stick are probably written in about 15 minutes with me.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, whenever I know it's taken too long and it's not staying in my head or anything, I'm like, it goes in the garbage.
That's the same with me. Yeah. That's the same with me.
Some of my songs have been like, I remember at the start of level 3 and like writing a song. For like you had to do like solo performances at the start of the year to see.
Was that Mosquito?
It was.
Do you remember Mosquito?
How could I forget?
That was good.
I wrote that like the night before at like 3 o'clock in the morning, just to, like genuinely shitting myself, going, I need to write a song for tomorrow. I need to do it.
That's amazing.
Necessity is the best motivator. Eh?
So you see, in terms of ZEAL, do you write all the songs, Patrick, or do the other guys come in and write?
These guys, it's actually it's funny. It's like it's a weird sort of dynamic. It's like, I don't know, it's just sort of, we never practice or anything. Like we practice like once every month, and we'll practice like we'll have like 1 or 2 practices for a gig, and then we'll just show up and do it because like these guys.
I'm so jealous of that. How are you guys so fucking tight every time I see you?
I don't know. I think we bluff it.
We play a lot. It's just we don't practice a lot.
Yeah.
Rehearsal as well. I think we kind of suck sometimes at rehearsal.
Yeah, we do.
And then every gig, it's like, oh, it's good.
To be honest, you know what? That's probably true. Is like actually playing your own instrument yourself, which is probably a good like. I know. I guess for anybody watching, I find that's something that for a long time I was not doing. Like I was waiting till rehearsal came around to play, and it's like sometimes I play bass at home, but like I wouldn't. You wait till the day that you play, and then you go and play. I love playing bass at home, but I wasn't playing my songs or anything. I wasn't playing the B button songs, and it's like I was learning other things or writing new material or whatever. And then especially because we're bringing this new EP out, and we're really proud of it. We're trying to play as many good shows as we can to promote it. I was like, right, I really gotta up my game here. And then I just started doing a thing where I was literally walking around my house with the bass, and I was just playing the set list over and over again. And then I'm so much better.
That was the first gig for me.
It's crazy.
That was the first gig.
Really?
See, genuinely to impress you, because I was like, right, this is my first like proper band that I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this well. I sat in my bedroom and listened to like the whole SoundCloud playlist.
Oh,
like
that's nice.
2 or 3 times
You
through.
told us that.
That's how I would do it though.
Yeah.
Repetition over and over again, and then
again.
I would know it. Like
That's the
no
fucking
problem.
secret, isn't it?
And then like it kind of puts you off the songs.
Yeah.
'Cause we did we did
Sorry,
like
guys.
a competition within tech like about a month ago, and we had to go to Armagh, and like after like a whole like
for Armagh.
series of events that we'll not get into, we had to just go into covers.
Yes.
So we did like a Wolfpack song,
Yeah.
and we blasted out Back Pocket day in, day out for like 2 weeks straight.
Oh, fucking
For like 2 hours.
It's a fucking tune.
It is a tune, but I hate it.
No, I hate it.
Completely
No, I hate it.
We've overdone it.
I love how you just talked about it. It's like, oh, we just had to do a cover, so you just done a Wolfpack song. And I was like, yeah, as if it would be that easy. So.
Well, when you get obsessed with something, I guess it's easier.
Yeah, we are absolutely obsessed.
Yeah.
They're playing in October, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, I
I'd
know,
love to
dude.
see them,
You know what? There is too many good gigs at the minute, and I can't.
You just can't.
I can't afford any of them. I can't get time off work.
Are you going to the ZEAL one tomorrow?
Going to what, sir?
Are you going to the ZEAL?
I can't. Well, you know what? To be honest, if I was free anyway, and I apologize to the ZEAL guys, but I said I would go to Battle Bands for RIR because they're playing a heat in there, and I would need to go to vote for them. But every Thursday night, I work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. shift at my job because I have to work as I do like a duty management shift I can't get out of where I have to look after the entire store.
No, that's sore, like.
Yeah, every Thursday, and Thursday seems to be the new cool gig night to go to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm seeing if I can actually go to the Battle of Bands thing or not tomorrow night after work. Pretty much, it depends if they played or not. Really, whether I can make it up in time. I would have to just go straight from because it would be here.
Surely, if you went straight and then got there, at least you'd be able to vote whether or not you
What?
seen them.
That's what Mike said. He goes, run up there, vote, and then go around to the ZEAL show. I was like, sounds like an idea. Because
It's not like you have to play a gig the next day.
yeah, it's not like I'm doing any playing on Friday, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm considering it because I'm booked off on Friday for the EP launch because I'm gonna be free all day, go down for sound check and everything. So like, I might be able to swing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, every
There
Thursday.
are so many good gigs coming up in Belfast. Like.
There are. I actually I have a couple here, which just because we're talking about it, I will give them all a shout out. So sorry, in no particular order, because they're all over the place here. May 24th, got Sister Ghost, Alpha Twin, Surf Green, and RIR. And where is that?
39 Gordon Street.
39 Gordon Street. Yeah.
Like, about 3 or 4 of those that I found all seem to be in 39 Gordon Street.
Well, that's a cool venue. I haven't played there. If anybody knows how to get in there, then book me. Yeah.
I have the guy's email address.
Yeah,
We're
you
doing
do,
our
man.
end of year show.
Can I play it?
Yeah. I have the guy, the dude. What's his name? Shay.
Let's
That's
not
his name.
advertise his email though.
Let's not advertise his email.
I'll cut that out.
Let's not.
You can give it to me. I'll
We'll
go.
just
You'll hook me up with a contact. That's cool. So yeah, that was on 24th of April. Fucking cool lineup though. I like that one. 27th of May is Woodburn Savages Stability album launch.
Ooh, yeah.
That's we're going to that.
Shout out.
You
Limelight.
guys see that video? That video was really cool that they put out.
No.
I don't think so. No.
Single. It's so weird. It's like he's basically he's like sitting in like graduation robes or whatever, and he gets like handed his degree, and he grabs a briefcase and he walks off, and I don't know where they filmed it, like some sort of like big studio sort of thing or whatever, but he walks off, basically walks onto a treadmill, but he's got this big massive screen behind him. And it's like he's walking down the street on the treadmill sort of thing.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
I honestly recommend like hunting out the latest video. It's
Nice.
really cool.
That's really cool.
Nice.
I also got May 10th, Anto and the Echoes, Narcats, Sit Tight, Connor Phillips, and that is 39 Gordon Street as well. Miles Manley, Civil Simeon, Jess Edlin, I think that is. Actually, no, I've never seen that person before. That's Sunflower, Public House.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And last one is Mosmo Strange, Monkey Part-Time Pilots and Ferals. And that is, where's that one? Empire, Belfast Empire. Shiznai Promotions, yeah. Yeah, Gifted Showcase.
Joshua Burnside's playing. At the end of not the end of June
The end of June.
in the Empire. I think it was announced today or last night.
Cute.
I chanced my arm and messaged Johnny McKee if I could get a support.
You get a
there,
support
and
slot for
He
that?
went no.
I feel
You
really
know.
bad. And
Straight up.
Johnny McKee gave me, we were talking recently and he said he watched the podcast, so if you see this, I apologize. He reached out to me, button to book us for a couple of shows, and we were a fucking nightmare because we have 3 of our members. Now, I'm staying in this country this year, and
Yeah.
all 3 of them are going on holidays at 3 separate times, and he offered us 2 different shows, like not even 1 but 2 shows, and both times I was like, our drummer's on holiday. I was like, our guitarist is on holiday. And I was like, I feel like a dick right now. I was just considering saying yes and then figuring it out on the day. It was just like, Calvin, I need you. Can you play bass? And I'll pretend to play drums. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, that's something completely different that we have been doing in a way.
Yeah, we're
like
just
session work.
We're just
almost.
rhythm. We're just a rhythm section. Like.
Yeah.
You guys are back in band for Sonya Slater?
Sonny Slater.
Yeah.
Matt's doing loads of work with other people. I'm not even that talented, but like,
You're a badass, man.
You are a badass.
Dude,
That's
you know
the
what that-
exact word.
Like, I don't know. It's from seeing you guys, because that's what, like, I can't believe how young you guys are, and you're still in tech and stuff, and the fact that your band hasn't even been together that long, because you're, like, I don't know, you're just, like, solid musicians, as in I feel like you could throw mostly anything at you, and you'd probably nail it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Means a lot.
I know that probably seems like a weird perception from only, like, well, I've met you enough times, like, I've
Yeah.
seen you play, but it's like, you're just too solidly comfortable on your instruments. That's the thing that always got me, is just
Almost
like,
a bad thing.
no, it is not. Like, I'm still so focused on what I'm doing all the time in my band. I feel anyway. I like to pretend I'm casual. My face says I'm casual, but inside I'm
That's what
dying.
we're doing. That's the secret. That's it.
No, maybe
Cover up
that's the
your
trick.
fuck-ups.
I need to be even more chilled out and just be like completely like I don't care.
That's it.
Sometimes I could be standing playing a ZEAL song and be completely zoned out.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Completely
That's
zoned out.
great.
I
Love it.
It happens
like
all
the
the
first
time.
few times, like when we weren't really all that comfortable with it. And there was a time when we were practicing like Blue, and then we were going to play it in the Sunflower, and we were doing like a section where Matt, like it wasn't everyone was meant to drop out by like Patrick.
We were supposed to do. I think what was it? We were supposed to do like drums and vocals. It was like the
Yeah,
chorus.
that's it,
The
that's
chorus
it.
is finishes, and we go into
Me
like,
and Patrick dropped
beat,
out.
and I'm gonna sing and he's gonna drum.
Yeah.
But
Nope.
It was,
This keeps
oh,
going.
it was hilarious. We played like the first chorus, and then I was like, okay, right, I stopped now.
That's when we
so
stopped.
I'll just stop.
Stopped
And
playing
Patrick
guitar.
also stopped.
Went to take my first and then went, here, where's... You turn on,
and then people started clapping, thinking we were
The song was
it's like first chorus, it's like a 1 minute song, you know, and it's just built up and come back down again, and people are like, and he's sitting there just going,
Are we done? Are we done? Did I recover that? No, or did it end?
You did something.
I think
I don't know
If
what
shit hits the
happens.
fan,
I
I just
don't-
come in on the snare and pretend like I meant to do it. Like,
Yeah.
that's just what you do.
That's where I feel like you guys would nail that. I feel like you would own that mistake as if it was intentional or something.
We do the funny we do the thing that went on a treat actually at the Eglantine when we or Eglantine whatever Eglantine the egg
The egg.
that went on the goodbye thing that we do,
Oh, the goodbye keeps going on.
and
for,
you
it's like
stop and
3
you
or
go,
4 times. Yeah,
like yeah
I love that.
people don't I think I don't know people probably just look at that and go, these guys are taking the piss.
No.
You know what I mean?
I liked it.
What
For
about the-
for people who haven't seen ZEAL, you'll see it in one of their songs that ends on goodbye, goodbye, and then you get the applause. But it keeps going. You do another one, and then you think you think that one's over.
Like
We'll do it in a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get
You're in the zone already.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I like that though. That was
Yeah.
pretty funny. You've got your trademark things. You got that. You got the shaky hands thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you picked up on that.
Dude, yeah, for
I
sure.
stopped doing that.
Bring it back.
I gotta do that again.
Bring it back, yeah.
There's a lot of. I think that's a theme. There's about 3 different songs with some sort of hand shaking reference in them. I
Do
can't
you-
remember them
Do you
now.
have shaky hands? Is that
I
something
must
you're
do.
singing about?
I don't know.
I'm actually fairly steady-handed.
Still, yeah, very steady.
What's that? That's good.
That's impressive.
That's
Your
good.
songs
Got
are
a spirit level handy.
He's lying in his lyrics is what's happening. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. Yeah, guys. So, like, you got any shows coming up soon, or what is the deal? What's happening on the scene?
We don't have anything booked. I have to talk to people about things to get things booked. We want to do. I was thinking about when the whole recording thing kicks off with the new studio.
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna take it easy on that, and then once that's done as well, I think once there's actual recorded material, that makes everything so much easier.
Definitely do. Definitely.
I think that's been one of the main drawbacks as well, because even though there has been stuff on SoundCloud and I've just been a bit reluctant to like give it to people,
Yeah.
it's like I don't think a lot of people take it seriously. So once that's done, we'll probably do something more extensive. I'm going to Amsterdam at some point, and I really want to do Europe. I think that would be. I think like there's part of me is reluctant to do the Northern Ireland thing,
Yeah.
just because
I know what you mean.
the
It's-
scene's kind of a bit difficult. I feel for us anyway. The
Just-
scene's a bit
Fuck
difficult.
it, just do it. I mean, Winona Bleach went to
Russia.
fucking
I
Russia.
done Russian
That's
tour.
right.
documentary
Yeah,
and
they did
everything,
it.
so-
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, but like, I guess the advice that we were given, I mean, take it if you want. It was somebody else gave us this. They were sort of saying you can dip your toe in the water with it, and it's not that hard to organize something in like Scotland. Like a few shows in like Scotland is quite easy, and then see how it fares for you. Like you can do it so quickly over like the space of a week. You could book like 2 shows here and like 3 shows in Scotland, and do Northern Ireland over there, and be like, okay, this is kind of what it'll be like.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then work out how much it costs you. Did you make anything back or whatever? And then
Test run sort of thing.
I mean that's it's hard. Like we're trying to come up with a whole bunch of ideas just to make a bit of extra money just so we can do something like that, because we would like to expand a bit more. It's just so hard because I love the music scene here, but I know everyone's got love-hate with it. It's like I constantly want to give something back to it, but it's like everyone thinks it's hard to break outside the bubble, I guess.
I would, it's one of those ones. I have opinions on it, sometimes, there's some things I hear and I'm like, oh, that's a bit unnecessary, isn't it? You know, like, and then there's some things I hear and it just blows me away, and you know, it's a real mixed bag, and then I don't know.
It's just weird because doing this like podcast, especially like meeting the people and what they're doing and what they're contributing. I mean, I think that's one of the special things about here. I don't know what other music scenes are like. You know, never been involved anywhere else, but like here, because it is a bit of a struggle. If you find the right like-minded people, everyone seems to be happy to come together. Yeah, and I think that's what's really special about it, to bring that forward. And it's, I know the thing I've always talked about is like it's more the general public that is hard to get interested in. Yeah, and it's like how do we make it interesting for them? How do you make like people in Northern Ireland just want to go
see live music? Yeah, that's the thing. You guys have done Dublin now with Sonia.
Oh, it's so different down there. It's so different. People do want to see live. Like, I mean, we've only played there one time, and it was like packed out. It was like the biggest.
Not like the little. You were like on the small stage thing.
No, it was a huge stage.
That the huge?
It was probably like the
one. Oh, that must have been up here.
Yeah, it must have been here somewhere. I don't know
where was it that you've played?
Whelan's.
Oh yeah,
fucking huge. Yeah. See, one of the first things I noticed whenever I went in, they had. I mean, the stage was huge, and they had this big, massive pit for people to stand in, but they had no tables and chairs. There was actually tables and chairs behind a rope with a bouncer at it. And I was like, what a simple thing to make people stand around and actually create a concert atmosphere rather than every bar you go into here, everyone's sat down on their ass.
The sides, you know. It's and it means the sides are just, you know.
I think once they get in that atmosphere of they're at a bar drinking and you're interrupting them. Because they're having conversations across the table. They're not standing there waiting for the band to come out. It's like if it sounds like a stupid thing. I'm fixing everybody's problem. You take all the tables and chairs out, right? That's where you start, and everything will be fine.
It's so true though as well. Even like I remember my dad saying about like you go down south and anywhere else, you know, backlines just sitting there waiting for you, and you bring breakables. Yeah, you guys have probably experienced that. You probably love that, you know.
Dublin gig was ridiculous. There was 7-8 bands on that night, maybe more.
Damn, that was it was great.
3 or 4 guys jumped on stage after each band, and
so
they
quick.
had my equipment set up quicker than I could.
They set everything up. They helped us with the stuff that we were really meant to set up, like get the pedals in it, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, Jesus. It was like having your own roadies.
That's cool. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was mad, and I was like, "Why is this so different?"
I gotta say, the sound man in Fibber McGee's he's magic. Like,
Gandalf.
Yeah.
Gandalf.
Is that birth name? Yeah, I can only imagine.
I don't care.
Curtis will love that one.
Really like long, just white hair, like it's bleached with age.
Beautifully white.
Big old
bleached
beard.
with age.
Wisdom pouring out of his
him.
I love
that. He's unintelligible. You
can't
even understand what he's saying. Like there's one person in every band that like you're sitting standing like sound checking and he says something and he's like, "Your bass." Sorry, what? And then there's always just one person in each band that just goes,
I don't care. Just pretend you know what he said.
He said the funniest thing to Matt the other night. We were there on Thursday, and you were like, were you setting up your kit?
I couldn't get the stool.
You couldn't get
hired.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need your magic. And I was like, I didn't bring my magic today. And he says, I'll bring mushrooms for you next time. I was like, please.
Damn.
That's awesome. He's just a big acid head hippie guy. He's really good at his job.
But he's good at sound engineering, so
it's done.
That's fucking awesome.
That's the important thing.
No, right guys, well we'll pretty much in the bottom of the show here. To be honest, like not a lot of people got back about the Q&A thing. Maybe that was my fault. Should have put it up earlier, but I did get a question about what your favorite piece of gear is.
We were talking about that over dinner today.
It's like, I don't know. What is our answer?
Sitting in barbecue talking about this.
You go first, Matt, because I know you thought about your answer.
What?
You're gonna change it last minute now?
Yeah, well, initially I said, the ride symbol.
The ride symbol.
I'm a big ride. I love my ride symbols. But then I was like, you don't you don't actually need your ride cymbal. You really just need your hi-hats, you know. And I was always so impressed by... I wasn't impressed by drummers who went mad around their cymbals and, you know, went crazy around their kits. I was never impressed with big drum sets like that. I was always impressed with what people would do with three-piece, you know.
I agree.
Just like...
I agree wholeheartedly. I love seeing that.
Man, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, definitely, 100% in.
So I would say hi-hats.
Hi-hats.
For sure.
Can't go anywhere without hi-hats.
Nope.
I mean, you could probably still play a show if the rest of the drum kit was gone and you had hi-hats.
That's it.
You'd still play it.
Hi-hats, use it as a ride or a crash.
Yeah, it's so diverse.
Yeah, it's great.
You go.
I mean,
Your bass.
Patrick said this to me the other day, and he just said, "You can't even say your bass because I went like a week without having a bass recently, so I can't even say that
Played
because
like
I
4
have done
gigs
it.
with no
I've
bass.
played like 4 gigs
Using other
with
people.
no like owned bass.
Do you use any pedals whenever you? No, just
tuner and like sometimes a fuzz, and that's it.
Flat out, dude.
I don't know, my fingers.
Yeah.
Can't live without my fingers. Like
That's it.
You gotta get a compressor now. You got like the P bass kind of thing. You gotta. That'll be your thing.
I have to
Yeah.
get a compressor too. It's the boring pedal to count.
Oh yeah, but like
It
I
doesn't
spent
do anything
like
magical,
I
but
spent
it
like
does.
50 quid in a tuner and 45 on a compressor, and it's the best 95 quid I've ever spent.
I
in my
know
life.
that's the thing. Once you start using it,
It's
you're
like-
like, I'm so glad I got these.
Yeah.
But at the time, whenever you see it, you're like,
And like the one spot power supply is like another 100. So like those 3 things are like the most useless 200 quid, but the greatest
But the
200
best.
quid. You know.
the best for making you actually sound better,
Yeah.
but doesn't do anything crazy.
What compressor was it that you?
Boss CS3. It's nice actually. I quite like it. I like the tone, like the way you get the tone control on that. Because I
Yeah.
switch between a Strat and a like a Guild type kind of thing. It's got P90s, but they're kind of mellower.
Different tunings.
No, not
No?
different tunings. Just different types of pickups. So
yeah. Right,
it's nice
sure.
to have the tone control where you can just sort of
Cool.
give it a bit
Sweet.
more.
So what
What's
could
my
you,
equipment?
Yeah,
Oh God, I
what could
got
you not live without? What?
I've got so much like. Well, the microphone, obviously, the double microphone thing.
You know, like
That's-
We were talking about this because I was asking because I seen you guys that one time.
yeah,
that-
Mike wanted to know how it was set up, like what way do you run
Yeah,
it.
It's
what
a-
was that you were doing for the and Stu was just saying it was like
Yeah.
distortion pedal basically.
What it is, it's like a high impedance harmonica microphone, so it's like a really close kind of register.
Yeah, for
microphone.
the actual mic itself. Yeah.
The microphone, so that's that, and it kind of gives like a telephony kind of thing going on anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll use a distortion, sometimes I'll use an overdrive for different things.
Right.
Like the overdrive's obviously a lot mellower.
Yeah.
It kind of stays with the telephone thing. The distortion's like a full-on bullhorn.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that hard to? Because we were talking
A
about
bitch for
that when we got
feedback,
here.
Oh, it's
right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
sound checks are
These
dreadful.
guys must hate me, like, because it's every single time, and soundmen just don't like.
Yeah, they're just. Can
You know,
can
they're
you
just
do
like-
without the?
Oh,
Why don't
and
we
it's
just?
like,
Why don't we just
no.
get rid of it?
I just change your.
Why don't we just take it out?
I remember there was a guy said that to me, and I was like, I wouldn't have brought it if I didn't, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
It's
if
part of
not
the
part of the show, you know. But
Stupid.
you just have to tell them, like, you know, set the EQ flat. It'll feed back, but that's part of it. It doesn't feed back too crazily if, you know, you're
Yeah.
sensible with it. I've got like a 2-band EQ on the pedal as well, so it's just always easier for me to be like, okay, the highs are going a bit nuts, let's take that down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing that I couldn't live without, because I don't know what it would sound like if it was just one microphone. I don't think it would be ZEAL.
Curtis would appreciate that because that was the thing. I was like, I don't know if he's seen anything else whenever you guys played other than that microphone because he kept talking about. He still talks about it to this day, and he was just whenever I said about doing it on this day because he couldn't make it tonight. He's like, I can't come. And he's like, fuck, I want to ask him about that microphone. He's like, he's so obsessed with the fact that you use another microphone. I was just like. They're also a great band, dude. But he's just like, I fucking love that mic. We should get that mic.
It's funny. It's like it's such a conversation piece though as well. It's like
yeah.
I'm sort of bored explaining it now. It's like
I'm sure.
harmonica mic, pedal, noise.
Makes
Good.
a difference. It's cool. I really like it in the songs because you use it sparingly too. It's not like every single song or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It's used in the right way.
yeah.
Can I ask? Do you guys You guys listen to Grandaddy? Is that like a influence
Big
for you?
fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
Love Grandaddy.
Yeah.
Love the first 2 albums, and then after that it kind of gets a bit,
Yeah.
you know. But Under the Western Freeway is such a great album, you know.
Yeah,
But
man.
it's-
I just sort of, I was like, I can't remember if I ever asked these guys about this. Cause I'm
Mm.
like, I just hear it in there, and I'm like, I need to find out, do they actually listen or not?
Big fan. Jason Little's a genius.
Yeah, get him to produce you, and then you'll be happy.
Oh yeah, but he'd put synths all over it, you know.
I
And
know,
he's
I know.
like big ARP synths and everything.
You could
But
tell-
he's a genius anyway, you know.
Did you
yeah.
hear the last Band of Horses record? I don't know if you guys listened to them, but he produced it.
No, yeah, that's
really?
right. He did. That's right. Because I follow him on Instagram.
It's kind of
I don't
cool because
remember
it's
him.
just weird. It's
Yeah.
weird hearing Band Horses with Grandaddy
Yeah.
producing. It's kind of
Yeah,
kind of odd, but yeah, and then they sort of split up after that. Band of
yeah,
Horses. Which
yeah.
maybe it was to do with that album. I don't know. But it had such a different vibe to it because of it. But you
Yeah.
should check it out. There's a couple of songs you
I
like
will
on it.
do. I'm a big fan of like finding out who produces what and going
Yeah.
through their discography. You know.
Well, I
Well,
didn't know it whenever I first heard it because I'm a big Band of Horses fan, and then they brought out the record, and I was like, "There's something really different about this," and I was like, "I need
Yeah.
to look into this more," and then I found out that he produced it,
Jason
and I was
Little
like,
did the.
"Oh, damn,
Yeah.
that's why."
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So I think we're still running okay, aren't we, Mike? Yeah, no problem. No worries. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Beautiful.
You guys don't have any shows to like promote or anything, do you?
We don't have anything to promote. You guys can promote like other shows.
You don't like take a volume coming up?
Valium.
He
You play?
doesn't know.
I need my diary.
So do you play for Valium?
Yeah.
You know, I
I feel
didn't.
like I have seen that kicking around somewhere.
I just-
feel like you
I-
guys do have something coming up. I feel like it's
You definitely do.
We have an unreleased single which is produced by the magnificent Frankie McLeay. It's fucking Einstein Studios.
Einstein. Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius. Love him. Wouldn't go anywhere else. That's unreleased, so I'm not going to talk too much about that.
Okay.
Probably got some gigs, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's sorry, I did ask because like Valium's a band that I seen the name like a bunch of times, but I didn't know who they were or I've heard
We did
anything.
win the first heat of the Battle of the Bands just recently.
Right.
At the
Is that's maybe it? I didn't know you played for them, dude. That's
yeah,
cool.
I dropped for them. So play quiet songs with ZEAL.
Play loud songs with
Play loud
Valium.
songs with Valium. It's great.
Dope.
Great fun. Great
Happy
band.
medium.
Come down to the next Battle of the Bands. I think it's in May.
Is it? Yeah, you guys are. Is that the same one? RIR or is that a different thing?
Is
What?
that the-
They're in
It's the
Bullet
Bavarian one,
Bullet
yeah.
Bourbons.
That's the same one.
Same one?
So-
Oh damn! I'm torn. I'm torn.
They're not the same heat.
Yeah, not the
What
same
if they
age.
are?
Yeah.
Panic attacks.
But yeah, we'll
yeah.
see how that goes.
Is there any Sonya Slater stuff coming up now?
Ooh.
Or
I think we were meant to have one in Derry on Friday,
I got pulled.
and it got pulled. No
right.
idea why.
Yeah.
but you guys just brought out the music video though, right? So
Ah, yeah, we
Yeah.
did that music video. It
Yeah.
was cool.
it was good. I liked it.
It was really good. Moz Films did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is that who that was? Right. Okay.
Really
Where
professional.
did you guys film that?
Yeah. Where was it?
Just black stuff.
Black
I
stuff.
thought- I thought-
I forgot
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, it seemed like Black Stuff. It was like seemed like a nicer room in Black Stuff.
Yeah, we made it look nicer than it was.
One that didn't have asbestos on it.
Nothing was plugged in. It was really funny
Yeah.
because like there was no power sockets by the windows, so
Just play it unplugged.
we
It
were
was
playing
just
unplugged all
miming.
day.
We just had to listen to me for ages.
All
Oh,
drums, yeah.
All drums, like.
Have to. I know because we have a video on the way and it was the same deal where it's just nothing was plugged in. It's like miming.
So
And
weird.
It was really funny because we finished the thing right and we almost forgot because it was annoying to pick this video to mime, you know, because it starts off with the bass just immediately, like there's nothing to indicate when it's gonna go in, and I was like, we're gonna have to film a couple of takes and I'm just gonna have to mentally know the timing to go in. And I meant to start singing like immediately, so we were doing it, and it's like the very last take of it where I was like, right, okay, you go in, and I was like, boom, 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 and I meant to start singing, but then because I'm miming, I didn't silently mime, I just done it like really quiet, where I was like, and then they all started laughing at me because they were just like, what the fuck was that? Why not just silently do it or else full on do it? I was like somewhere in the middle being like,
Can make up your mind.
I was like, I wanted to make it like a bit like I was singing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see that soon, and now everyone's gonna know whenever they watch it. Like instead of it looking badass.
Yeah, no one will keep it in anyways.
Yeah, we'll see if he keeps that in. You should just have that.
Watch out for that.
That clip at the very end of just me making a horrible noise. But yeah, that will be out soon. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for coming down.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. And I will, as long as I don't have to work some stupid shift in work, I will definitely come to the next ZEAL gig because I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Same.
The Beatles one, we're gonna do the Beatles one. We're gonna do another Beatles one. We've already talked about it, I think.
Bring me on as a guest. I'll like sing a song.
Totally.
Dude, I will.
In between songs, you can just spit knowledge of Beatles history.
Did you know?
Spoken word, just there, just.
I just do facts in between. Not a lot of people know. But
Brings out like a flip chart.
Yeah.
Like
It's like the Bob Dylan. Is it Bob Dylan where he just
The
drops
signs.
the fucking signs? Just.
yeah, subterranean homesickness. Yeah, for sure.
I just want to say, great meeting yous. Fan.
Likewise.
Now, gonna download SoundCloud just to listen to your music.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna get done tomorrow. But yeah, pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, and get some music out soon, please.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Please. I'm desperate.
Absolutely, I promise.
I need my ZEAL fix. Been talking about it for like 2 years now, or whatever. It's been 1 year. I don't know, but I keep talking about it. Like just have a check in every once in a while, see if there's anything up. I'll fucking cut it there.
We out.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Unreal.